Yahweh Shemel Shah, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Shah.
Brothers, it's gonna be a regime change. Yeah, God coming into power, bro. The only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah coming into power, and you brothers, man, you gonna be in power with him. You gonna be a joint heir with him. But see, before that happened, this place to go. It gotta be taken out. It's written in Second Ezra, unless that which is sown be not turned upside down, and the place where the evil is sown, it come that the sown was good. I mean, what? The kingdom of heaven cannot unless America, Babylon the Great is destroyed, man. This place gotta go in order for our kingdom to come. So you better be praying. Baba Kushai, please, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Heavenly Father, in the name of His Son, abide, destroy Babel, Babylon, America. Pray. Because our kingdom can't come unless this nigga Esau plugged up. And the Lord plant us in power, man. And see, we ain't gonna rule America. The Lord gonna erase this place. And it's gonna be a memorial of what happens to wickedness, man. This is gonna be the biggest desert on the earth. Ain't nobody gonna live in this bitch, man. In the kingdom of heaven, we gonna be in them chariots, and we gonna fly over this place, and you gonna be telling your great grandsons and daughters, we actually used to live in that place. And they had us in slavery. The Edomites actually was in power at one point, and they enslaved us down there. That's what you're gonna be telling your people, your family. Hey man, we're gonna be such a big nation, the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're gonna be so fruitful and populated in the kingdom. Each man is gonna be like his own nation. So like I said, you're gonna be in that angelic vehicle flying over this bitch and looking down, and you're gonna be telling stories, telling these legendary stories of how the Lord delivered us out of America. Because there will be a second Exodus, man.
Yahweh Shemel Shah, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutation, the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers and listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. And what I want to get into, all right, this afternoon, all right, is dealing with a lot of things that we're seeing happening, you know, at the same time. Okay. Because what we're seeing is Esau Edom is on the move and he's preparing, all right, to go, all right, into the next phase of his agenda. You know, there's a lot of councils being held, you know, a lot of change to, you know, pretty much go from national law, okay, to global law. All right. This man is forming a global government, you know, that he's finna utilize to rule the earth, okay, under Satanism, man. You know, if a brother could post, let's get Ezekiel 3:17. You know, let's get Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Okay. And let's get the book of Job, chapter 18. You know, got a lot of videos to play, you know. just so we all can be in the loop, what's going on. All right. There's the book of Job chapter. Let's get Job chapter 18, verses 5 and 6. Okay. So let's start off here. Now, this the brother Yashima tribe of Judah. All right, Ezekiel 3 and 17 says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. And the Lord has, put the spirit on particular men to be what, man? Watchmen. Particular men of Israel to be in the spirit of constantly watching, man. There's a lot of brothers, that post nothing but videos going to current events and, what's going on, or, just real, quick videos of certain things, certain, interviews, people having dreams, and that's the spirit of a watchman, okay, to be very attentive, to what's going on. All right. And that's part of our sacrifice, man, because as we, you know, as we neglect, particular things, okay, for the sake of what, man? To be watchmen. All right. It says, therefore, hear the word in my mouth, all right, and give them warning from me, because this Yahweh Bashim Shai, all right, that's bringing, all these things that we see being prepared to come in the earth, man. Okay. It's Yahweh Bashim Shai that's preparing these things. All right. And he's working, all right, heavily through Esau Edom on the left hand side to bring, all right, chaos to the earth. But at the end of that, there's a judgment that's coming for Esau Edom. He's going to be removed from power. Okay. So Yahweh Shema Shai is using this man as a throwaway, like a throwaway weapon, man. Okay. All right, so let's get Job 18:5. This is again from the brother Yashima tribe of Judah. It says, yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Yeah, see, Esau Edom, all right, has been, enlightened on the left-hand side, and that's how he's been ruling the earth. He's been able to be steps and steps ahead of everyone, okay, going to the elite, all right, of these Edomites, these banking families. Okay, they have been able to be leaps and bounds ahead of society through what? Their enlightenment on the left hand side. Okay, but now their light is going to be put out, which means Yahweh Shema Al Shai is about to withdraw their access, okay, to this left hand energy that Esau has been able to run the earth in, man. If a brother can post that as well, we'll play a video. Then we'll get let's get Isaiah 47, all right, verses 12 and 13. All right. Or really 12 through the end of the chapter. We'll read that after this first video. It says verse 6, it says, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. So we're finna see now it's a phase, and Esau Edom, all right, his rulership is dimming out. It's going dim. Okay, until it's utterly put out. And while it's going dim, this man is going to go, okay, into an all-out attempt, he's going to go into an all-out attempt to try to establish, a perpetual wicked kingdom in the earth, okay? So let me get this first video, all right? There's a lot going on. We're going to play a lot of videos, you brothers just post, scriptures, accordingly as you usually do, the water to you Akim wa Akwatim for tuning in, so let's get this one first. Hold on, here's the right one. And this one.
Many of us didn't see it yet in early 2020. But today, millions of us are now aware of the emerging one-world government and their deceitful plans to seize power hidden under the guise of world health. And many of us are now awake to the fact that this so-called New World Order is religiously paganistic, luciferic, and satanic. So it's no surprise that their coronation ball climaxes on May 28th with a devil-horned moon and the Jupiter-Mars conjunction, which is believed to bring success when starting a war. Their big week of megalomania begins on May 22nd in Switzerland, with both the World Health Organization's annual World Health Assembly and the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Davos. In Geneva, the WHO will be voting on a pandemic treaty known officially as the Zero Draft Report of the Working Group on Strengthening WHO Preparedness and Response to Health Emergencies. This pandemic treaty will make them the directing and coordinating authority on international health. The WHO's Zero Draft Plan includes regular simulation exercises, global surveillance, more vaccines, more censorship, contact tracing, and digital passports. In Davos, Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum's annual meeting theme is History at a Turning Point. Their agenda includes more vaccines, more censorship, and more LGBTQI resilience. The same week in Indonesia, the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction is holding their annual global platform where they will be planning for regular ongoing pandemic simulations, more global governance, more money to fight climate change, and ultimately accomplishing the United Nations 2030 Agenda, also known as the Great Reset. After the New World Order's narcissistic coronation week ends with the devil-horned moon and the Jupiter-Mars conjunction, Klaus Schwab and his fellow Satanists can celebrate with their friends at CERN. And then what? In March of 2021, the Nuclear Threat Initiative conducted a tabletop exercise simulating a global pandemic involving a monkeypox terrorist attack. Something that Bill Gates has told us to expect. The Biden administration has just bought millions of doses of monkeypox vaccine, and mysterious cases are now being reported. The final assault of the New World Order will involve a man-made bioattack, food shortages, FEMA camps, rolling blackouts, and endless riots. Violence may save your life someday, and it might save our freedom, but it's not a solution. If we really wanted to solve this problem, we could all peacefully convene at our local government council and demand either their allegiance to the Constitution or their immediate resignation. Because the New World Order is not going to surrender, and the entire U.S. government is under their control. This coming Memorial Day, remember and honor the ancestors who died for our freedom, because it may very well be our last.
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. It offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
All right, so as you can see, all right, Esau Edom is preparing to give, all right, the WHO, World Health Organization, reigns, all right, over, okay, giving them authority over governments, all right, and that council started today. Okay, so from today until the 28th of May, all right, which I believe is Saturday. They're going to be, in talks of, okay, what to do in case of an emergency. Who will have the authority? Who will answer the who? You see, and now we're seeing them putting something in place where it will be a global government running this next pandemic. All right, and we're gonna go. I got another video that kind of further expounds on that. Okay, then we're gonna go into the propaganda being pushed for the next, pandemic. All right, if a brother can put the definition of propaganda in the comment. Now, this the brother Yashima tribe of Judah, Isaiah 47:12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, all right, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Okay, so Yahweh Shema Shai is mocking these Edomites, man, and we see they're trying to stand with their enchantments. All right, they go into these astrologies. Okay, they're going into the different planets lining up. You have the devil horn moon. Okay, all these different things they're trying to do is trying to get victory of what's written, and the Most High is mocking them, man. Okay, it says, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Okay, so the Most High is like, look, if y'all can, stay tapped into the left hand side, y'all might, can prevail. Okay, but we just read in Job that the light of the wicked shall be put out. Okay, they're going to be discontinued from that, because all those entities that these Edomites worship, these demons, even Satan himself, okay, they answer to Yahweh Shai. All right, Yahweh Shai has dominion over those principalities, man. Okay, so Esau is being set in slippery places, man. He's set up for failure. Okay, if a brother can post it, I think that's in let's get that in Psalms. Let's get Psalm 73 and let's get Psalm 73, 17 and 18. Yep. All right. So and then you know that Esau Edom is doing nothing off script. Most High told them to stand down with thine enchantments. All right. Isaiah 47:13, it said, thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, okay, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Okay. So the scriptures say what these people will be doing is to try to stand with their enchantments. Okay. Like I say, they you see they trying to wait on Mars and Jupiter to line up the devil horn, moon, which is the quarter moon. All right. Because next week is going to what? Is the 28th. All right. They're supposed to end, the council, what they're going to do. But then what do you have on the 29th? You have the new moon coming in. Okay. These devils are all into these monthly prognosticators. They're heavy into this, man. Okay. Esau Edom is trying to conjure up a victory. Okay. And we're watching this man as he make his move, man. For brother can get that, is there no more wisdom in teaming? I think Jeremiah 49:7, and then post Jeremiah 49:10 as well. Okay. Verse 11 said, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not, deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm it, nor fire to sit before. You done. You devils are done. Okay. And we're seeing this man go out with his last hoorah, man. Okay. He's finna come with it. All right. Verse 15, thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even the merchants from thy youth, they shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. And he's speaking to these elites, man. Okay? You're done. All right? And before this man is removed from power, he's gonna go all out, man, to try to retain their power. Okay? So let's get this definition. It's from the brother Sathar. All right, Sathar Allah. Okay. And is a propaganda is the dissemination of information, facts, arguments, half truths, or lies to influence public opinion, man. And that's what we're finna see a lot of as they get ready to go into this next phase, man. Okay. Let's read this. This brother Yashima tribe of Judah. Psalm 73 and 18 says, surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou castest them down into destruction. Okay. Esau Edom is set up in slippery places, man. All right. He's set up for failure. You know? So let's go from there. I want to get this other video, and it's going to kind of expound a little more on what they got going on with, you know, this council, all right, which begins today, you know, and it's supposed to conclude on Saturday. And what he's doing, he's just putting things in place when he does unleash his next, you know, thing, okay? He already has, all right, the legislation and things in place for his agenda, man.
My first guest tonight, Dean of the Robertson School of Government, Michelle Bachmann, says this pandemic treaty is seriously bad news, and every American should be worried, concerned, and they should be letting their elected officials know they're worried about it right now. This is coming next week, folks. Let's welcome Michelle Bachmann to the program. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on Real America. This is a big concern. This is probably one of the biggest stories that I receive the most emails and direct messages about and videos, and it's all videos of you speaking out about it over the last few weeks, warning the American people this could go down next week in Geneva, and the next time we have one, what if monkeypox just hit Massachusetts is the next one, and we give it to the WHO, then they're going to dictate our response. That's insane to me.
And that's why people need to be concerned about that. And people shouldn't feel bad that they didn't know about it. That was by design. This was meant to pass and go under the radar. There are two things that I want to make a distinction of.
Yes.
One is the pandemic treaty. The pandemic treaty appears will be discussed in Geneva, Switzerland, May 22nd. That's this Sunday through May 28th. Then it presumably will be voted on in 2024. The upper deck item that we need to be worried about is the fact that also at this same Geneva, Switzerland conference, May 22nd through 28th, there's international health rules that the United States is already a part of. These amendments that the Biden administration is proposing will be to the international health rules. So that means that this is not a treaty, and this vote doesn't have to come back to the United States Senate for a 2/3 vote. Treaties have to be voted on by the U.S. Senate and receive a 2/3 vote per our Constitution, but not the international health rules. We went into the international health rules a long time ago. They were a part of the World Health Organization in 2005. So here's a couple of things that people need to know. These proposed amendments from the Biden administration expand the power of the man that you're looking at, Tedros. He is a highly controversial activist Marxist. He was discredited in his home country of Ethiopia because he tried to cover up data regarding a prior epidemic and pandemic. But he was the perfect man for China to choose to be their spokesman at the World Health Organization. And so he's not officially China's spokesman, but he's effectively China's spokesman. The United States supplies the most money to the World Health Organization, which is the healthcare arm of the United Nations. And and China pays maybe half of what we pay. But China loves this guy, Tedros, because he covered up for communist China all through the COVID pandemic.
We know that.
He
We
was
reported
there
on
for
it.
That's right. He was there for 5 years in that position as Director General. Just this year, he was re-upped for another 5 years. He is the person specifically in these amendments who will be empowered, one person, to make the unilateral call whether or not, for instance, with monkeypox, if we have a public health emergency of international concern, if he makes that designation, even against our will, then he can put into effect a call for sanctions, fines, travel bans. He can work together with other organizations of the UN, the World Trade Authority organization, the Agriculture Organization under the UN. He also can work with so-called affected countries. If some countries charge that the United States is responsible for climate change or gun violence or white nationalism, then presumably Tedros could say that we are causing a public health emergency of international concern.
Right.
These other countries would get data from us, and he could force us to give up things like genome sequencing to the UN. It's amazing. In Article 12, Section 2, Line 6, the language of the current rules is crossed out that say that the United States has the full, or that any member state has the full authority to make a decision. That's crossed out, and instead the Director General Tedros is empowered. There's also surveillance opportunities that Tedros will have. That's the new Article 5. Article 6 is on notification. We only have 24 to 48 hours to register our disagreement. But this is what I want people to know, Dan. For the last 2.5 years in America, we haven't been ruled by laws. We've been ruled by emergency powers. The White House has emergency powers.
Right.
Yesterday, an article came out. Joe Biden is extending his emergency powers through July of this year. Governors took emergency powers. Mayors took emergency powers.
Right. Imagine if it's one crazy wild dictator at the top of the WHO who's in the back pocket of China. I already get it, Michelle. You're painting this picture, and I am, I can't say what I am. I'm worried. Let me put it that way to keep it PC. And every American should be worried about this. And when the next time somebody calls you a right-wing conspiracy theorist, when you talk about globalists trying to take over and run it in a new world order, this is the beginning right here. They want to give power to the WHO and one guy who's controlled by China.
Yep. So basically, and then they got Tedros, you know, it's supposed to be, you know, Ethiopian. You know, he might be a Jake here, you know, who knows? But we know he doesn't have any real power. He's just a face, you know, that they can say he's making these decisions. And that what would they do? They will put more of the blame just on this one man, but there's a whole ruling, all right, elite government, okay, that's going to be running everything. He's just going to be someone to blame. And then, you know, him looking like a Jake, it's just more psyops to cause more division, man. Okay, this nigga is ruin the earth. Okay, but they're setting it up to where, all right, the international law is going to trump, okay, national law. Okay, this is all we're seeing. Now this is the brother, O warrior Allah Yahweh. This Psalms 148. It says, "Grant not, O Lord Yahweh, by Shem Shai, the desire of the wicked." All right, further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves, man. And we should be praying against this, man. Okay, the elect have a mind frame that's against this, man. This man has a lot of wickedness that he plans on bringing to the earth, man. Okay. Verse 9 says, "As for the head of those that compass me about, let the mischief of their own lips, okay, cover them. Let the burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into fire, into deep pits, that they rise not up again," man. And this is the end of this wicked empire, man. Okay. And Esau's preparing himself to go on his last run. Okay, his last attempt you know, for glory, man. He's finna try it, man. Okay, it's part of the script, but he's gonna be stopped. Okay, in the midst of it. Okay, but we seeing them put everything in place that they need to bring this to pass. Now, I got some more videos. Let's go to YouTube. There's a lot, and they put it right in your face, man. Because it's to the point now they have no respect for the intelligence of you Americans, man. Okay, it's to the point where they feel like they can tell, they can say and do anything, man. Okay, now let's go here. I believe this from the brother. All right, Elder Karate.
It'll take probably about $1 billion a year for a pandemic task force at the WHO level, which is doing.
Yeah, you see this devil at the forefront of a lot of this wickedness that we see, you know, in the earth. He's just another front man. All right, this guy BG, okay, the original gangster. So I said we're gonna let a few videos play, you know, just to see the propaganda and the narrative that they're finna bring in the earth, man. You know.
Probably about $1 billion a year for a pandemic task force at the WHO level, which is doing the surveillance and actually doing what I call germ games, where you practice. You say, okay, what if a bioterrorist brought smallpox to 10 airports? You know, how would the world respond to that?
Meanwhile, earlier, as you received notice from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health, there's a patient in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts who has been confirmed to have infection with monkeypox.
Get Bill Gates in here.
There are growing questions today around a new and deadly outbreak. Scientists determined that this monkeypox virus was engineered. With limited antiviral drugs and no known effective treatments, countries around the world are struggling to control another pandemic with already devastating effects.
Seeing far fewer cases in countries where governments took early and decisive action.
And some international experts are urging the WHO to adopt a phased approach to warnings.
I'd like to call to order this secret conclave of America's media empires. We're here to come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong, in dark rooms glued to their televisions, too terrified to skip the commercials.
Well, I think...
NBC, you are here to listen and not speak. I think we should go with a good old-fashioned public health scare.
A new disease. No one's immune. It's like the summer of the shark, except instead of a shark, it's an epidemic. And instead of summer, it's all the time. That is...
Now, I hate to be the guy who derails what everybody else loves.
He loves being that guy.
But, Janice, we do have standards. This can't be a made-up disease. The only moral thing to do is release a deadly virus into the general public.
We do have something we've been holding on to, but it hasn't been tested. Get over here, NBC.
Well, we certainly believe in testing, but wow. Oh, yeah.
So we've got our deadly disease. Now we just have to blame it on something that's in every household, something that people are a little bit afraid of already. House cat flu is coming, people. The Center for Disease Disinformation predicts with some degree of probability that the house cat flu might spread in the following hypothetical outbreak pattern. So petter beware, that warm body on your lap just might be ready to destroy your tender victuals. Springfielders are advised to stay tuned for more information if they experience any of the following symptoms: mild thirst, occasional hunger, tiredness at night.
So they put it, pretty much right in your face. Okay. They make it a joke. Esau loves to make light of it. And people take it as a joke. This man, all right, has mastered, psychology. That's why he's able to get the masses to react in the way that he wants them to react. Okay. Now let's go from there. Let's get this video here. And if a brother can put 2nd Ezra chapter 10, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verses 10 and 11. And let's get the book of Matthew chapter 24. We get Matthew 24, verses 6 and 7 and 8.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles. The online action game War Thunder has received a major update. Direct Hit. Joining the battle are machines like the Soviet MiG-27.
This is Dabu 7. Some of you may recall the situation in Pennsylvania. This is Dabu 7. Some of you may recall the situation in Pennsylvania where a truck wrecked and we had these monkeys get loose and they had to track them down, and they were said to be lab monkeys, and there was talk of anything could be happening with these monkeys. They could be carrying anything, they could spread anything, and the authorities were saying that they needed to catch them quickly and get them out of the public. Now, there was a lady that came in contact with one of those monkeys, and she came down with symptoms shortly after that, and then they never said another word about it. Now, fast forward to today's situation. Monkeypox is spreading out of control in different countries, and now here in the United States. They're saying that the recent cases come from the United Kingdom. Sweden just came out reporting cases. Spain reporting cases. Portugal reporting cases. And oddly enough, right out the gate, the very first sentences state that most of these have been linked to men that are having sexual relations with other men. This is exactly what they're saying. They're saying that the man in the United States poses no risk to the public, that he's in a hospital in good condition. You start to wonder, how did he get this? The United Kingdom has confirmed 9 cases since early May, and 5 cases also confirmed in Portugal on Wednesday in young men. So the next line goes on to say the same thing. In Spain, on late Wednesday, they were assessing 23 possible cases of monkeypox, mostly in men that had relations with other men. Again, so they repeat this. The virus does not easily spread, they say. The transmission occurs through contact of bodily fluids, open sores, like busted open sores, or from contaminated clothing, bed sheets, things of that nature. They also say that respiratory droplets from prolonged face-to-face contact can make this possible as well. I'm sure many of you are familiar with chickenpox and what that does to the body. And they're saying that patients in this situation may present an early flu-like symptom, and it can progress to lesions across the body similar to chickenpox, as I said before. They say that this virus can stay with people for a couple weeks and then dissipates. And right now, this is the new thing. After Mr. Gates warned about this and all this other stuff that has been telegraphed, this is what we're dealing with now. Going to break this down further, censorship free, on the next live stream. Make sure to join me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern on DLive and Patriot TV. You'll find links below. Make sure to hit that bell notification for more of my videos. Much love.
Enlisted is the free, brand new online World War II shooter. Command a squad of soldiers and participate in legendary battles of the Second World War. Right now, you can join the invasion of Normandy, Battle of Moscow.
All right, so as you can see, they're normalizing the same narrative. Okay, now let's get this real quick. All right, this is the brother, Yashama, tribe of Judah. This is Matthew 24:6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Now, there's also talk of, China, invading Taiwan, which that's something I'll be watching. If you brothers see anything, post a link. You see anything happening with that, post a video on the comment board of any of these videos, man. We get to it. All right, so that's something, I've been looking at, how China is going to deal, with Taiwan, and that's all we're hearing is wars and rumors of wars, man. All right, all these circulating stories about what all these nations are planning to do, All right, militarily, it says, see that you be not troubled. All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, because there's things that have to happen, before all out war just breaks out. Okay, it's gonna be a skirmish. China might, invade Taiwan. Okay, and America and all these other nations, just like when Russia invaded Ukraine, are not gonna do anything, man. All right. And it said, verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence. Okay, famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So we're going to get into famines, the pestilence. Okay, see, Egypt is about to be plagued as before, as we're about to read. All these are the beginning of sorrows, man, and we come into some hard times. Okay, but the elect gonna be good, man. We're going to be tried and tested, but ultimately we're going to be good. We're not going to go through nowhere near, all right, of the circumstances that these people are about to go through. They're finna feel the full effect of all these plagues, man. All right, because it's coming for the wicked. These are things for judgment. 2nd Ezra 15:10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. This from the brother of war, Yahweh. This 2nd Ezra 15:10. All right. It said, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Yeah, because there's a deliverance coming for the elect. Okay. Standard lifted for the elect. Miracles coming for the elect. And ultimately, we're going to be physically removed from this place, man. All right. But we're in the midst of this happening now, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof, man. The ultimate plague gonna be the missiles, man. Okay, but building up to the missiles, you're gonna have the pestilence, you're gonna have the wars, okay. You're gonna have, extreme violence and chaos and all these things going on at the same time. Okay, it's a lot happening at the same time. So let's go from there. Okay, since we mentioned famine.
If you find exercise hard, you need one of these. All you need is 3 minutes. And once you try it, you'll never dread working out again. Wasted memberships, boring workouts, or trying to find time to train. The long-lasting healthy habits each day with Step.
This is Dabu 7. We're now being told that the supply chain issues are going to last the next decade, not just the next year, into the next 2 years, anything like that. No, all the way up to 2030 and beyond. They're just boldly stating this now. Everything that you see happening out here is orchestrated out here on this world stage. That's a fact. As this pox thing now enters the fray here, this newest bit of chaos that they're going to sprinkle in on top of all this already. And all of it combined, they're saying, creates the perfect storm. Well, they don't just happen like that. They have to be engineered. And this is exactly what has happened by the powers that be. As they're trying to strip away your rights and your freedoms left and right, they're causing headaches for everyone. And it's all about control in the end. So it doesn't matter if it's wheat, if it's water, if it's the weather, all of it. It's all controlled by what I call the hand. They could be killing a drought out there, making history in the record books every day. They're out there cloud seeding. Pretty simple technology that they've had since Vietnam. In bringing rain to these dry areas, nope, not a word of it. And in California, they just had a chance to bring a huge desalination plant into Southern California that would have guaranteed everyone in the region fresh water for as long as it was in operation. They said no. They'll send $40 billion to Ukraine, but they won't do nothing here. And again, no one is doing anything in this country. There's no grassroots protest, no nothing. No militias, patriot groups, no nothing. Nothing. And the power is in the people. The power is in your numbers. You don't have to go out there with pitchforks, turn full-blown Sri Lanka on these cats, because over there, they're chasing down the politicians. They're burning down their mansions and all that because they're starving them. So that's what happens when a people truly hits its max point and chaos erupts. You're seeing it there. You're seeing it in several different places around the world if you pay attention. If you're wondering what it's going to look like in the future around here, because they're sinking this thing faster than the Titanic. That's for sure. Join me on the live streams where I break this down further and what we're doing to counter this, where I can talk censorship free and go.
So it only gets worse from here. It letting you know that normalcy, all right, that people, have come to love, all right, they're taking it away. Okay? They're taking it away. Now we're seeing that Yahweh Shema Shah is finna plague this place, all right, as he did ancient Egypt when there were just multiple plagues back to back, man, to the agriculture, the blackouts, the darkness, the plague of darkness. We're gonna get a video on that. But before we get that video, let's get Psalms 52. Let's get Psalms 52, verses 2 through 5. Yep, Psalms 52. Let me get this from the brother. All right. Or warrior Allah Yahweh. The second Ezra 15:13. It says, "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting of hell with a fearful consolation," man. Okay. And the least are intentionally, destroying the agriculture sector of society. All right. So they can have full control over the food supply. They want all food supply to go through them. Okay, now this second Ezra 15:14, it says, "Woe unto them," all right, "woe to the world and them that dwell therein it." All right, verse 15, "For the sword, all right, and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, swords in their hands," because it's finna get very chaotic, man. People are about to suffer. Okay, people are about to experience a suffering. Okay, that this society hasn't seen, and we just in Sri Lanka, what they're doing. We read verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Yeah, it's gonna be a real anarchy society, man. Okay, where people are gonna they're gonna see that there's no government, no justice from the government. Okay. They're seeing that the government doesn't have their best interests in mind, so these people are going to take justice into their own hand. They burning down the governor's mansions and politicians' mansions over there in Sri Lanka. Okay, and it's just a prelude of what's coming. Okay, to America, man. All right, this is just a prelude. Okay. Let's get this. This is the brother Prince of Yahweh 9, Micah 6:12. "For the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful, okay, in their mouth." Okay, and that's all you're going to hear from his media is lies, okay, and deceit to get the reaction that they want from the masses, man. So that's why you get this brother Yashima tribe of Judah, Psalms 52:2. It said, "Thy tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully." Okay, because here it is, this man, okay, he has the ability to manipulate the weather. Okay, he has all these resources, he has all this technology that he says is so great, but he does nothing to help the earth. You see, this man does nothing to help the earth, man. He come to you as if it's help, but there's a wicked agenda. There's a wicked side effect to everything that this man present as something good, man. Okay, verse 3, Psalms 52:3, it says, "Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness," man. So this man will rather spend $40 billion on aiding propaganda war in Ukraine, but he won't spend $1 on agriculture in America, man. Okay, he loves his wickedness rather than good. Okay, it says, "Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue." Because listening to this man's instructions is deadly, man. Listening to Esau Edom is deadly. Everything that this man pushes in the earth, the alphabet people, street culture, the thought life, everything this man pushes to society, Christianity, okay, witchcraft, is all deadly, man, because it puts you, all right, in opposition to Yahweh Shema Shah, to righteousness, man. It says, Verse 5. Now, you see our scriptures, it speaks about the wickedness of this man, but then it speaks about the judgment. Verse 5, the Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. Okay, this man is going to be removed from society completely at the end of this, man. Okay, he has a hell of a judgment for what he's doing. Let's go to this one. As we spoke about the blackout. So let's get this video. Hold on, I'm tripping, man. Let's see.
I lost 35 pounds. I was a size 15 in jeans, and now I am a size 7. My waist measured at 40, and now it's 27. So
Black.
Well, in these famines, there's a lot of people finna shred. Okay, it's gonna go from a 15 to a 2. All right, your whole body gonna be able to fit in one of your pants legs, man. Okay.
This is Dabu 7. A heads up as we're getting warnings now to prepare for rolling blackouts or just flat out blackouts, period, throughout the summer. And this goes for everyone coast to coast here in the United States. And when we look at these warnings, NERC is saying that the power supplies in the western U.S. could be strained because of the historic drought, which we've talked about. That reduces the hydroelectric power that is generated for those areas. Then you have the weather, the super hot temps. We have no cloud seeding happening down in the West at all. Not a word of it. No one's speaking of it. They're not even trying or attempting to even bring any rain to these regions. They're doing the exact opposite. They're drying it out. You combine that with them trying to kick up this new green energy plan that seems to not have any backing or any support in it whatsoever. They can't get the solar going, can't get the wind going, or the batteries, any of this stuff together. And it's what they're calling the perfect storm. Imagine that, a perfect storm, huh? Things don't just happen like this. They're engineered this way, just like the scam we've been living through this whole time. But when we take a look here at North America, you can see that it's broke down into several different regions. And depending on where you live, your power is coming from one of these regions. You can see the Quebec region. You can see the Alaska connection. You can see the Western connection. You can see Texas sitting there by itself. And then the Eastern Bloc, which encompasses more territory than any of them. They're putting out big warnings for the West and saying these things, but the reality is the grid, all in all, is coming down. And now they're talking about vast swaths of the U.S. this entire summer going through blackouts, stressing the electrical grid while they're sending billions to Ukraine, doing nothing here. And it just blows my mind. Can't find a grassroots protest for the life of us here in this country that's not backed by the government like BLM or some crazy crap. People standing up for the rights. That's what we're waiting to see. And hopefully that starts to materialize sooner than later here, as the people need to take the power back. And the power is in the people, in the politics that you address. The power is in your numbers. And it's time to flex.
People gave their power away for convenience. Okay, there's too many people that rely, all right, on the grid. There's too many people that rely on this devil, you know. And even we, you know, have been brought up on this grid, but see, we have a power that's going to provide. Okay, but our people that refuse to return, they refuse to repent, they have trusted in this man. If a brother can put Jeremiah 17:5 and 6, all right, what Jeremiah 17 verses 5, 6, and 7. Okay, the masses of the people are through. Okay, because they trust completely in this grid, in this system. Okay, and Esau has spoiled the masses through convenience. Okay, so their power is gone. The power was in people, you know, understanding the earth, understanding how to farm, understanding how to fish, understanding how to hunt, having their own land. Okay, but what do you have? People piled up in these apartments, you know. Everybody's in these 2-story houses with, you know, with you know, not even, you know, an acre of land. Okay, so no, the power ain't with the people anymore. Okay, only 1% of America's population are farmers. Okay, and the rest of the 99% depend on those farmers. So if they shut down that 1%, they shut down that 1%. All right, through, and that's what they're attacking, that 1%. Okay, and also can the brother put Isaiah? We got some more videos. I'm just playing a lot of videos, and you know, so y'all can see there's a lot going on. You know, let's get Isaiah chapter 30. Let's get Isaiah 30 and 12. You know, Isaiah 30 verses 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. All right, this the brother of warrior Allah Yahweh, Jeremiah 17:5. He said, thus said the Lord. Okay, Yahweh Shema Shai, cursed be the man that trusts in man and make it flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. Because the more that you trust and rely in this system, all right, in the convenience of this system, the more you, because this society has pretty much separated people from a higher power, to where people think, you know, that somehow technology has bypassed, you know, Yahweh Bashim Shai. You know, Esau pushes their energy as if his technology can go beyond the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai. You know, as this man leads this all-out rebellion. Okay, because people have begun to worship themselves and, you know, think way more of themselves than they ought. And this technology has a lot of this technology and the convenience of this first world society has a lot to do with it. And we're going to get it. Some examples, man. It said, for he shall be like the heath in the desert, okay, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, and they salt land and not inhabited. Which means what? You're going to be left out for dry, man. A desert is a very you know, barren place. Okay, it's a place of barrenness. All right, and what we're seeing is Esau Edom is finna leave a lot of people barren and desolate. Okay, it's gonna be a lack of everything, man. The dollar is going to, you know, to hell. All right, the food supplies being through. Okay, and the protection from these local law enforcement, that's gonna go away as well. Okay, you're gonna be left like you're in the desert, man. Okay, it says, blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, and whose hope is the Lord is, man. And that's okay, the elect, man, to have that mindset. Okay, because we coming to a time of ultimate trust. All right. This is the brother Yakanan. Okay. This is Isaiah 30:12. It says, "Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel." All right, because all right, he despised the word and trust in oppression and perversion and stayed their own. All right. And our people trust in this oppressive system. They despise this word, but they trust in this oppressive system. Okay. And it says, therefore, this iniquity shall be as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in the high wall, whose breaking coming forth suddenly at an instant, which means that the chaos gonna come at an instant. And everyone that's leaning and trusting on this society are gonna be thrown completely off balance, man. Okay. Now let's get some more videos. All right. This is the brother. The brother puts up a lot of informative content, with things that are going on. Okay, so we're just gonna play a couple videos from this brother's page. Endure these last days, subscribe, and be edified, Everybody chasing the bag. Okay, well, let's see what's happening to that bag.
Change from dollar to whatever it's going to become. Because I tell you what, the dollar is fucked. If you have half a brain, you should understand what's happening right now. I always say politics doesn't matter, but Joe Biden and his cronies, the people behind him, because he doesn't have a clue what he's doing, have destroyed. They're about to pass this $3.5 trillion bill. All they've been doing is printing trillions since the beginning of this corona garbage. The dollar is fucked. Do you know how they calculate inflation? They calculate inflation based on a basket of goods. They go and say, oh, bread, eggs, the normal things the normal person needs, And they calculate inflation like 5.4% or some shit. But that basket of goods, they just change. When they want to adjust what the inflation number is, they can just change what's in the basket to fuck with people. Do you know how I calculate inflation? This was the price of something last year, and this is the price now. I encourage you to go and Google up the price of timber now compared to what it was. Wood is wood. You can't really fuck with wood. You can't change the type of eggs. You can't mess around. Wood is wood. The dollar is fucking wrecked.
So oh my gosh, we're in serious trouble. Serious, and it's getting worse. That's what terrifies me. Inflation goes up, and the average American doesn't have $1,000. 40% of Americans don't have $1,000. And so when inflation goes up, we're going to wipe out 50% of the U.S. population. And that is when revolution starts. If and when, and it will come down, the stock market crashes, the 401k, the old guys like me are toast. We don't have a retirement. Our pensions are bust.
Don't say devalue the currency. They don't say cheat the people who are saved. They say lower the interest rates. The real deception is when we distort the value of money, when we create money out of thin air. We have no savings, and yet there's so-called capital. So my question boils down to this: how in the world can we expect to solve the problems of inflation, that is, the increase in the supply of money, with more inflation?
Of course, it can't. The fractional reserve system of monetary expansion is inherently inflationary. For the act of expanding the money supply without there being a proportional expansion of goods and services in the economy will always debase a currency. In fact, a quick glance at the historical values of the US dollar versus the money supply reflects this point definitively, for the inverse relationship is obvious.
So the dollar is on its way out. You got a new, possible, sickness, the pox. Okay. And you got constantly rumors of wars. All these things are happening at the same time. Food supply chain, food is going to be scarce. Let's get Proverbs chapter 10, verses 2 and 3. Let's cue up another video. All right, let's get Proverbs chapter 10, verses 2. All right, and 3. Okay, this is another from the brother of warrior Allah Yahweh, Isaiah 36 and 6. It says, Lo, thou trust in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, wherein if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Okay, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, because eventually, depending on this society, this broken, okay, society, all right, leaning on it is going to cause you to get pierced. They're corrupting. Okay, so this man is causing all these things to happen. The Lord putting the spirit on this man to cause all these things to happen, so that he can present his technology as the solution. Okay, it's a brother. All right, Yashima tribe of Judah, Proverbs 10 and 2 said, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivered from death. Okay, righteousness delivered from death, man. Obedience now, obedience through faith. Okay, that's going to go a long way in these times, man, to the standard of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Okay, that's what we're obedient to. We know what's required of us as men and as women. We know what's required. Okay, Proverbs 10 and 3 said, the Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but casteth away the substance of the wicked. Because these people love money. This, nigga, money, phones, the woman chasing the bag, and, but see, their substance is finna be cast away. Money is not going to mean anything, man. And it's going to be all about the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai. And this is a promise. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, man. Okay? Let's get another precept to back that up as well, man. We have to stand on these things, man. When we come into these hard, choices that we have to make, we have to stand on them, man. It's Psalms 37. And brother gets Psalms 37 and 25. Okay. So while all this is going on, let's play a couple of more.
The Lord gave me a dream that every Whole Food store is going to close down because they're going to run out of food. They're not going to have any food to support their stores anymore, and they will all close down. The Lord gave me a dream that every Whole Food store is going to close down because they're going to run out of food. They're not going to have any food to support their stores anymore, and they will all close down. The Lord
No, you have a whole car. Look at this. Look at all this. Look at the shelves.
Now this is dealing with, the baby formula, which this is another example of Esau spoiled you with convenience. Okay, breastfeeding was, women, the modern woman is too good for that. Oh, that's old fashioned. That's, but now here it is. You're a woman. Every other creature on earth, every other animal, all the animals on earth, the mothers of the earth, the mammals. Okay, you look at the cow, you look at the dog. All right, they produce food for their children. But Esau said, nah, you gotta do all that. We'll make it for you. Okay, and you trusted in that. And not only that, they say the people that's taking the juice, the women that take the juice, they don't produce, the milk. So you see how trusting this man puts you farther into a hole of oppression. Okay. So now you have this argument, but it's something I want y'all to pay attention to. What the woman, because she's, pretty much filming this Moabite who took who took the rest of the formula. You know.
You don't think I need it for my baby too?
You think I know you come and you get this one before?
You just cleared the whole shelves of all of this formula.
If you saw me take that because I'm paying for.
And I'm not paying for it? I have a child at home to feed, and you just cleared the whole.
You say, oh, can you share with me or something like that? Because I saw in here, I'm buying. I don't know. You come after me. I say, oh, I want to take that too.
Because I'm waiting patiently. Was I not waiting patiently?
I don't know. You get this
but
one.
Still, this is the whole reason why there's a formula shortage. You take all the formula off the shelf and buy it all at once.
You come after me. I don't know. You get this one.
That doesn't matter. I'm saying this is the whole reason why there's a formula shortage. You come and you buy all the formula at once. And there's kids who need formula today who won't be able to get it because you just bought it to stock up. That's not your problem, right?
And you see Moab walked off on the dumbass. All right, but you see how, she's blaming people panic buying as a reason of there's a shortage. Okay? And not blaming the people that really control the food supply chain. Okay? You have so-called cyber attacks that happen to these big, these big these big tractor companies. Okay? You have, the government is buying out farmers, paying them more, okay, to not farm than to farm. But then the person in the grocery store who's buying, all right, in bulk is the problem. And the reason they leak, the reason they let this information leak about food shortages is so people can panic buy so they can hurry up and just buy up all the reserves. But the cause of it is the wicked elite, man. Okay? So let's go from there and play a couple more, and then we'll get ready to wrap up. So let's go from there. Now, you have all this going on. Let's see if I can find it. All right, you have all this going on, and this is the mind of the modern woman. Okay, through.
So I can't be with a man that makes $100,000 a year or less. I would prefer $1 million or more. And there are men for me. So if you make $100,000 a year, that's great. There are women for you, but that woman is not me, baby. But do you make that? Men with money who want to provide do not care what you make. They mostly care about how you make them feel, how you look. So stop trying to compare the two. You can't be logical because logically we're made up different. But it's harder to be with a man with money because he don't need help with the bills. So your job and degrees don't really mean that much. You got to bring something else. Y'all would be with somebody that treats you bad for money. Your mom was with somebody that treated her bad for love. Stop bashing women who is turned on by a man who has figured out how to provide on a large scale. Blame God, not us. So I can't be with a man that makes $100,000 a year or less. I would prefer $1 million or more. And there are men for me. So if you make $100,000 a year, that's great. There are women for you, but that woman is not me, baby. But do you make that? Men with money who want to provide do not care what you make. They mostly care about how you make them feel, how you look. So stop trying to compare the two. You can't be logical because logically we're made up different. But it's harder to be with a man with money because he don't need help with the bills. So your job and degrees don't really mean that much. You got to bring something else. Y'all would be with somebody that treats you bad for money. Your mom was with somebody that treated her bad for love. Stop bashing women who is turned on by a man who has figured out how to provide on a large scale. Blame God, not us.
So that mindset is about to meet all this chaos head on. Okay? That mindset is about to meet all this chaos head on. Okay? Through. All right, this is brother Yashima tribe of Judah. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And the speech is coming through the prophets. Now, you think that her and many others that, that think like her are concerned about what the prophets are saying. You think they will spend an hour and 20 minutes out their day listening, to an in the news update from, what the world would consider a broke, all right, a black man. Okay. All right. Verse 10. And it says, many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And we're watching these things, man. We're watching these things happen. Okay. We're seeing what's leading up to the vintage failing, man. Okay. All these high standards, and you gotta have this. No, you finna suffer, baby. All right, your ass finna suffer. Okay. Isaiah 32 and 11 said, tremble, ye women that are at ease, all right, which is what? They're comfortable. Okay. They're comfortable as hell in this society. All right. It says, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, gird sackcloth upon your loins. Okay. It's a time, all right, it's a time of suffering, man. This abundance that people have got to enjoy, especially the nigga woman, the abundance is finna stop. It said, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vines. Okay. Upon the land of my people shall come upon thorns and briars, yeah, upon the houses of joy in the joyous, all right, city. Okay. So we're finna see from joy to suffering, man. Okay. And that's why we have a mindset to do these things, man. Okay. This is the brother Yashima tribe of Judah, Hosea 10 and 2. It says, sow to yourselves in righteousness. And that's what we're doing now. We'd rather be here. I'd rather be here than anywhere else right now, man. Doing this, man, than anything else. Okay. It says reap in mercy. And we want to reap mercy, man. In these times when the vintage gonna fail, but guess what? It's not gonna fail for the elect. It said, break up your fallow ground, for it's time to seek the Lord, Yahweh Shem Al Shai, till he come and rain righteousness upon you, man. So we're going to continue to seek our power, man. Get closer to our power in these times, man, because the Most High, made a promise. All right. And this is GMS. Pray always, hope for elect. Psalms 37 and 25. It says, I have been young and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed, all right, begging bread. Okay. Nor his seed begging bread, man. So the Lord's going to take care of brothers, and their families, man, in these times. Okay. And that's just something we have to stand on, in the spirit now, we have to stand on these things, man. All right. Yeah, let's get this one. Okay, this from the brother Warrior Allah. All right. Yahweh, the 2nd Ezra 2 and 27 said, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance, man. And I'm excited to see how the Lord gonna make it happen, because he gonna make it happen. I'm excited to see that, man. How he gonna provide for brothers and sisters in their time, man. It says the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. And that means the condition that these people going to see, okay, we're not going to have to partake in that, man. Okay. We are not going to have to partake in what these people are finna partake in. You know, we're gonna be tried, we're gonna be put out there, you know, we're gonna be hated, all right? But we're not gonna be forsaken. These people are gonna be forsaken in these times through, okay? So that's the point. You know, Lord will, you brothers, you know, and you few sisters were edified. You know, once again, I'm give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. You know, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing salutation to hopefully. Till next time I say Shalom, Kwame Ashala, Abba Baal, DTA soon. Shalom.